Hello. And today we're going to talk about how the Toronto Defiant beat Atlanta Reign using Double Bubble while their Atlanta Reign were playing Brawl. And we're also going to include like a bonus review of Game 5 just because why not? So to spoil this game, like obviously like you clicked on this video, so like you want to know the result obviously, and the video title suggests it. Like Toronto Defiant, Toronto Defiant, they lost the first two to Atlanta, but they reverse swept different color. They reverse swept Atlanta in the last three games, and how they did it was by avoiding the brawl mirror, because like the first two I think they were brawl mirrors, but instead of brawl mirroring Reign, Reign did play brawl for like quite a lot of the matches, even like these. I don't think on this, but they not only stopped mirroring brawl, but they also played like a double bubble, which is a comp that can struggle into brawl if you don't play it properly. But Toronto Defiant, they do play it properly, and part of the reason was because of actually their coach. Their coach was a KDG, who was Philly's coach last year, and he was replaced with 9K on Philly, but and he got a job with the Defiant, but his specialty, he seems to be double bubble, coaching double bubble, because last year he played a lot of it. He made Philly play a lot of double bubble, especially against top teams like the Shock. So let's take a look. Please load. So okay, let me make sure my settings are right, and they are. So, right here, Defiant are playing, on defense, I think, yeah. They are defending. And, they're playing double bubble with, the Echo and Ashe, which is, a more, pokey variant. Usually, you see Tracer, but, in this case, this signifies the fact that they just want to play a bit slower with their Winston. They just want to focus on poking. So Reign, they started on the ball comp with the Widow and the Tracer, classic with the Zarya, but they do eventually switch to Brawl because they're just not really good at this comp. But Toronto Defiance comp, they play double, poke heroes. Echo can kind of dive with Winston, but they play double poke heroes just because of the sight lines of Dorado and the high grounds that benefit long range poke heroes like Ashe, Echo, Widow, for example. So they might eventually switch to Sombra or Tracer. I don't know. The third point is a bit worse for Ashe, but. So right here, they hold the high ground, and Reign on this comp, what they really want to do is ironically they also want to poke as well, and they might actually have a slight poke advantage with their Zen, and Widow wants to get picks obviously, but they just want to try to disrupt Defiance backline, and they want to be able to poke out Sato before he can kind of close the distance, because Winston benefits from shorter sight lines, and once Winston closes the distance, then Reign's comp is kind of useless. So right here, Gator slams, not a really good slam though. So Gator tries to stage behind, and then gets the bubble, maybe gets some energy for Hawk, barely any energy, but that isn't a really good slam, no. And oh, sorry for stuttering. This slam was just bad. I was kind of, yeah, but now, like, because the slam was bad and they committed Zarya bubble, now, like, Toronto Defiant, like, they can look to, like, engage kind of semi-aggressively. Maybe on, like, Iris or Massa. And, Sato jumps back. He gets poked out. And what like Rain want to do is try to poke out Sato, like especially with their huge poke advantage. Well, not huge, but like small poke advantage because of their Zen. And so like Pelican is like marking Sato quite well right now, and then he has to jump back. Still though, it's Defiant still have like the high ground, and they'll have an ample time to like get Sato back into like this staging position. So Sato jumps out, and now like Rain are kind of like losing the poke war because like Defiant have the high ground, and Kai has not gone any picks yet. So let's see like. So, like, part of the thing that might turn this around for Rain is actually Widow, because, like, Widow obviously one-click get head, but let's see if, like, Toronto are, like, restricting this Widow, so, like, Echo, kind of, yeah. But if anything, like, Gator, like, wants to, like, boop them into the open, but this is, like... But look, Kai is peeking, but like, so like Gator like should maybe want to like boop maybe Ashe into like her sight lines. Like that's a occasional thing. You have ball booping like players out of cover so Widow can get picks, or like a Ashe or something. But in this case, Gator just boops them in. Unfortunate. But let's see. And like Kai can't just like grapple up here because like Sato can just like jump on him. So like before Kai can take like any aggressive position, like Sato needs to be cleared out, and like they do. But like this is important. Toronto like they know that like when Sato's out, like Kai has like open sight lines. So like look at what they do. They have to like play a bit back. Play around this cover, and that's what they do. They give up this area because they know the Widow's going to have an advantage there, but by doing so, like, they get to fight here, which is much better for the Ashe Echo. And now, like, the choke of death. So, right here, like, they push card, but this is kind of sloppy. So, so like they try to push under here, but like they haven't cleared the monkey out yet. And like guess what? The monkey's just gonna engage. And this could be prevented. And like more importantly, look at what the core do. As you can see, like Defiant's core, like they take the engage here. Let's see, and they don't do it with ultimates. Like often you see them engage. You see like double bubble teams only engage with ultimates, but like if your Zarya has high energy, well in this case they don't, but if your Zarya has high energy, then like you can just engage. But in this case, like Rain are just playing like under Toronto's like map control, and guess what? Toronto just go in, and like since like Rain like are just like clumped together, like Defiant, like Toronto can just like, and look, they're pincering, so the Echo's pincering, so like Sato's going this way, Michelle's also going in this way, like you can go in this way, but like Nice goes in like this way, and it's devastating. It's a pincer, and once like Zen is in short sight lines, like boom, it's useless. So Atlanta really fucked up a bit there, and what they should have done is like instead of pushing like this, what I think they should have actually like maybe actually rotate the core like even up here, or like at least like put some poke pressure on Sato so that he has to hide, but like preferably like, but even then like Lastro can just heal him up and then they can just do the same thing. So like honestly I think Rain should have like put some people on the high ground, put like Iris, Massa, Hawk in here, like have them poke here, put Kai like maybe like somewhere on an angle, and then like have Gator and Hawk maybe slam high ground or like be annoying in the back. But like right here, like they're just not taking any control. They're just like playing under like Defiance map control, and they're getting punished for it. Look, this is so easily avoidable if like just maybe even put Tracer on cart, for example, and have like the rest of you like rotate. Like I know it takes time, but it's time well spent. So right here, like yeah, like and giving double bubble like a neutral win is really bad sometimes, because like not sometimes, like if the team's like really good at cycling their ultimates, in which case I think I've watched like Anubis VOD and Toronto Defiant, like thanks to like probably like KDG's coaching, like do show like a surprising ability to like cycle ultimates with double bubble especially. And like this is gonna pay off, because like you see, like you can just win off like Nano one fight, and then next fight you're gonna have like duplicate or like Bob, which is strong on its own, especially against comps that can't really heal up, like close range poke, so to speak, and Primal, which is actually like kind of decent against this comp, because like because you have break stun, but you have no other forms of CC. So right here, Sado is staging up there, and again they're defending this kill box. So what Rain have to do is they have to like poke out Sado first before like doing anything, and I want them to like rotate high ground. And honestly, I don't like the Zarya pick from Rain. Like the difference between Ball Zarya and Ball Sigma is just that like Zarya like gets a lot more value like in longer fights, but like you have to get the Zarya close somehow. And against like a double bubble, like you're just gonna get like out brawled. Like double bubble is like the superior brawl comp, because like they have the monkey, for example. They even though both sides have a break, like the break's still gonna like make it a bit hard for Hawk to just W into the backline. But more importantly, like Michelle's also gonna get like high energy, like even more probably, because sorry, because like Michelle can self bubble like the poke from Rain, and also like Sado, who can also farm a lot of poke. So they'll both get a lot of poke, but Winston engages are better for Zarya, because like when Zarya can dance around Winston's shield, and Winston is just better in like shorter sight lines than Ball. So like Winston is hard to like get into the fight, but once you do get him into the fight, then he's really good. Ball, on the other hand, like is really easy to get into the fight, but like it's only a small distraction. So right here, like I want to see where Rain are pushing. So right here, like Gator goes in, but where's the support from like where like this is the feed, like so Gator like slams behind, I think engages behind, but like there's no support from his core. Like there's no support from his Zen, his Ashe, who could use the slam to maybe get a pick. Zarya's in, but like this Zarya's gonna die if they don't get the fuck out soon. Like look, let's look at the spectate overlay. Like Toronto Defiant have like all this space and all these flanks to work with, all this high ground, and Rain, like they just push in without like taking like the high ground first. Like, well, not taking the high ground as in occupying it, because like it's still gonna be tricky to do so, but just like put some pressure on the high ground, force some people to drop. Like force only the mobile heroes to stay on high ground while the less mobile heroes have to drop. And right here, like Toronto Defiant, like they just punish Gator. There's no support from core. They're just all gonna be able to focus Ball, and boom, your fight's over. Nano Monkey goes in. Oh my god. Like, Atlanta's just going in without like, you know, doing anything. Like, they're just engaging because they want to engage. Okay, that slam was not that good. And the reason that slam was not that good is, like, did it really draw that much attention? And more importantly, like, yeah, it did draw some attention, but, like, are you going to be able to follow up on the attention? No. You can't. Like Iris and Massa, like, they're looking at, like, a ball who's taking a lot of damage. You're not going to be able to, like, there's no crossfire. There's no, like, poke angle. Like, at least put, like, Kai, like, up here before slamming. This is mistimed by Gator. And guess what? It's just going to give Defiant another window to where they can engage with ultimates. And look, Sato just goes in because he has Primal. He knows that, like, Rain's comp has limited CC. Oh, and Sunjae, how did you die? Well, it shouldn't lose Defiant the fight. Oh, they were... Oh, it was the mines, unfortunate. It shouldn't lose, like... As you can see, they're hard committed. Now, the problem is that, like... Firstly, the mines, like, unfortunate, but... But the problem is just that, Rain have trans. And, but it looks, but I think Lastro just, like, hard commits too early. Like, Ana, like, okay, let's look at Lastro POV. Like, well, like, Lastro doesn't have to drop. There's, like, little benefit. Like, maybe he gets, like, 2 more offensive shots and a free cheeky sleep, but Defiant already have the pressure. And more importantly, it's keeping... Defiant, like, needs to stay alive. Because, like, you know, Rain have to trans. They need to, sustain for, like, 6 seconds before, they can kill stuff easily, so... Basically. So, like, right here, like... Lastro just goes in way too deep. And look... He's going into, like, the... Yeah, Lastro was out of position. And without Lastro, like, the whole comp just dies. Like, Ansunjae died, but, like, that shouldn't, like, lose them the fight. So it was just... That was just sloppy from Toronto, honestly. And I know the title of the video, as of now. Oh yeah, like, it's how they pressure double bubble. So, Toronto, like... That was a sloppy mistake by Toronto, but, like, yeah, like, Rain will have a really hard time, like, during the rest of these series, including a brutal 6-minute hold when they play Brawl. So, right here, Defiant, holding the high ground. I interchanged Toronto and Defiant. And, like... And, like, this is gonna be tough for Rain to take because, like, there are, like, some options. Like, you could poke from the low ground, but you can just cover against the low ground. You can... What I expect is Pelican to, like, put some cart pressure. Like, at least force them to, like... Maybe force some of them to drop, even. But, like, they want to use cart pressure, I think. Because, like, the disadvantage of holding this high ground is obviously you can't contest cart. But, the problem is that, like, Rain, they're not going to be able to, like... They're not going to be able to, like, take the high ground that easily. Because, like, this is, like, the only place you can actually take the high ground from. Like, maybe to take this high ground, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't matter until, like, the carts push up here. So, so what I expect is, like, Rain to, like, take this slow, try to live while Pelican pushes the cart, and then wait until Defiant, like, actually have to do something about the cart being pushed, and then decide to do it. But the risk they incur by doing that is that, like, Toronto, they have ults to, like, just stall the cart. They have like, Bomb, Duplicate could be one. Like, you can duplicate, like, maybe duplicate Gator and then try to roll around in the cart and mine anyone who tries to contest. So, like, they can delay the cart quite a bit. So, like, they just want to push a cart to a point where this high ground actually matters. like this is where they can actually take their long sightline battles, and where they can set up angles on here. So like right now they can, I think Rain, like they should be taking angles here before like the Toronto like get to close the distance, because like once Sato's in this fight and you know maybe they sneak in nice like on this angle, then like hey, Iris is toast, Massa is toast, Hawk is also probably toast. So but this is good. This is good. So like worst like teams that playing this comp, like they'll just send everyone into here, just try to like force the sightline battle. But you can see like Defiant, they're afraid of that, like they're gonna like get ganked from this angle. So you see like instead of like all pushing here, like they have their like monkey go one angle, and they have Nice go another angle powered by their brig, and they have like Hisu aim from here. So this means that Kai cannot take this angle and try to like get a pick from there. This is smart because like not only do you deny like Kai from having this angle, but you also like are able to use this angle once Sato like goes in from the side. I mean from here, and then like Nice can just dive from the side. So yeah, this is really important. But so let's see what Gator is doing. Gator has to like relieve the pressure like now, before like they close the distance. Oh, that grapple, unfortunate. Like their chance of doing this was like not dying here was like Gator going in as like Defiant goes in. Like it's okay for Gator to just stay in the flank and try to like annoy like Defiant, try to draw some eyeballs so like Kai can peek aggressively. Like if they were here, like Gator might roll all the way here to like, you know, to draw Hisu's attention away so that Kai can peek that angle. But like let's see how Gator plays this fight. He hasn't really impressed me with this ball though. So like firstly, like Pelican is forced to push cart, so like Gator like isn't gonna be really looking for dives. Like Ansun J can just like peel for Hisu. Like part of the reason you play Brig is not necessary for short range peel even. It's for long range peel. Like you can pack like people who are like 20-30 meters away without a problem. But right here, like firstly, Gator like fails to grab to the high ground. This is really bad. Like I can't understand how bad this is for Rain. Because like now like there's nothing to relieve the pressure. Like Sato can just fight this 6v4, and there's nothing they can do except to back up. Now the only nitpick I might have is that like maybe Nice should have like, I know Nice tried to get the kill, but I think like, you know, maybe this is possible. Where's I mean like Hisu Hisu's isolated. I think like firstly Hisu should have knew that Gator was like, you know, failed his tech. Like there's no way that Gator can actually threaten Hisu. So like in the time that Defiant or like actually strong, like Hisu should be saying like, hey, I'm gonna go here and like maybe like get the stragglers here. So I think Hisu just took a too passive position. Like he also knows that like, you know, probably Tracer's pushing cart. Like if like fucking like Ana was pushing cart, then like it's gonna be a death sentence. So obviously Tracer, I mean not Ana, probably Massa or like Hawk pushing cart, it's gonna be a death sentence. So like I think Hisu should have played more aggressively here. But someone needs a pincer so like Rain don't live this. If Rain live this and they have a chance to stabilize and re-engage, or even like in this case flip the fucking map. So I think that was a mistake. Defiant didn't pincer and they didn't finish, allowing the Rain a chance to stabilize. And they actually get Hisu off of that. So ironically, by not playing aggressively, Hisu actually like dies. By trying to play safe here, like Hisu actually dies. And you have to understand one thing: in Overwatch, the best defense is a good offense, and not just any good offense though. A good like a good offense at the right time, like a good offense to like, you know, relieve the pressure from the enemy. That's like the best type of offense. So eventually like Defiant do pop like 2 ults to like, and then like since like Rain are stuck in this small room with shorter sight lines, then it's tough for Rain. But anyways, and Toronto, they should win this off of just like all popping Qs, and like more importantly, like Rain fucking up their like pile drive, Gator fucking up his pile drive, which actually has huge consequences as like Defiant like close the distance. Like if Defiant close the distance, then like no matter what Rain does, other than like get like a pick, a lucky pick, or like pop a few ultimates, then Toronto just wins. Like this is a Brawl comp compared to their comp, and like eventually I think Rain are just gonna suck it up and switch to Brawl. So right here, Sato's staging behind. They're looking to punish, like, if Rain just go main. Oh wait, I forgot. Sato has Primal. So, like, this is, like, 100% ideal just because, like, some people can't support, like, some members of Defiant can't support this, like, this engagement. But, like, but firstly, it farms energy for Michelle. So that's good, but more importantly, like it splits like Rain's core from their Zarya, which is bad. Like from the rest of the team, which is bad because like then like you prefer like maybe Hisu to be able to see this, but like here's the thing, like now that like their backline is separated from this, then like Hisu is just free to poke like anyone here, and that poke won't get healed. Massa is separated. Massa is dead. Iris is separated, and no like you know Discord orb to help like Gator or Pelican, and like yeah. So like what was the mistake here? Let's take a look. So firstly, it's gonna be hard to win when Sato has ultimate and like they have high ground. Like this can be an absolutely brutal point to push. But like more importantly, like. Well, let's see. Is Kai like what's Kai shooting at? Does Kai like see the Winston and just not shoot him? Like Kai needs to be someone needs to be poking out this Winston. Like oh, he doesn't have Lastro with him. That makes it rough. Like if they scouted this, like this is risky because like if Gator like is able to get a good slam with like a Pelican plus Iris Discord, then Lastro is at risk of dying. Like, especially as they're cut off from their break. Oops, sorry for that. As you can see, Anshin J is here. But, like, this just prevents the Rain from poking, but this is risky. But, like, they probably scouted that, like, you know, Gator and Pelican were, like, kind of, like, here. Which is weird, champ, because, like, they have to clear these people out first before they can even take advantage of like any engages here. Like otherwise, like you're just gonna die to like Sato engaging. So Rain just didn't clear angles enough. Like there are some right clicks, but like that doesn't stop like this from happening. They have to be clearing out like they have to like exploit Lastro being isolated, or like they have to clear out Sato. Like maybe like the Gator and like Pelican to even force like Lastro to rotate back to his team, and then Sato can be poked out. Like this is sloppy from Rain. But as I say this, so to get I think like Sato should have ulted here. Like there's no Massa, no CC, and like and then this would have secured the fight. Even though like Toronto is 1-up, but like now like let's see how they actually die. Like look, Anson J drops from they really, and Lastro just gets separated. So like when Lastro, so Rain eventually do like punish this. They do. And what Lastro should have done, honestly, is like the moment this happened, like Sato is primal, or is about to get primal, just rotate back. But like by not doing this, like Pelican just punishes this. Misses asleep. Yeah, Lastro dies and this puts a hatchet in the plan. Like when Lastro died, like Sao should have primal, not like he jumps back to his team to contest cart, but like you don't really like I mean they don't have a tracer to really contest, but honestly like just win the you have your break, just win the fight first, and from there they snowball. So like it was just like a sloppy like backline movements from Defiant. And so now let's see, they 3 on card thus. So now like Defiant's comp actually should become slightly better because these are shorter sight lines and like if they try to take this high ground, which is probably like the only like relevant high ground on this map, like here, then like Defiant can easily just take it. Like there's nothing, like there's a small poke window, but like Sato can literally just play under the high ground and jump up here and pin, and then they can take it as a pincer. Can try to like pincer a high ground. Okay, let's see. They do want to clear the high ground for Hisu Nice to like get positioning. And look, like this monkey alone, Sato alone, forces them to like makes them scared. They're scared. Their best hope, other than taking this high ground, is probably like either like Gator gets a clutch boop off the high ground, which allows like them to at least take it for a bit, so not a really good value proposition, or like they use Gator as a way just for like Kai to like maybe get a pick, and then like once you weaken the high ground a bit, then you can try to take it. But to find, they're just gonna hold this high ground for quite a bit. Oh, how does Hisu die though? No. So Hisu plays low ground. Interesting. I think he planned to go to the high ground, but like he just does it too late. And whoa! That peak, that was just reckless. I mean, like, from a dive perspective, you know that, like, they're here, but like Hisu just peaks for too long. Outside of break LOS, nonetheless. And look at this. And like Nice dies as well because like he's also playing outside break LOS probably, like right here. Like they're going in, but Nice is just like separated, can't really contribute, and break like brawls, but like but like Nice is outside of her LOS, so break can't even do anything. But like Kai, okay, they killed 2. Like now Atlanta should be looking to take the high ground. This is like their chance. Well, like unless they don't finish this fight. So Kai gets split for some reason. Splitting is fine. Often fine, but it's when I say like some people get split, I'm not implying that splitting is bad. Like obviously, like you want to take splits because like you want angles. Like Kree wants angles, like Ash wants angles, for example. Maybe even like Zen wants angles, and obviously these 2 want angles. But like it's just that like you have to take splits that your brig can support. Your team has like LOS on as well, and like splits that can just support each other. But right here, like the Winston ball just cuts off. Like Kai can't get any help, and like they notice that he's separated, so they just kill him. So Kai just took a reckless split there here. You can see like this is a straight on brawl, which a 4v6 brawl. So like at least they have the brig. So. But honestly, another option might be like they just kite back. They have the trance. They just kite. They just because like Defiant like don't have long range poke heroes like right now. Like they're dead. So like all Rain have to do is like chill for a bit and then establish angles and then like win off their superior poke. But like right here they're just brawling. I know they have to rally, but brawling is not what your comp does best. Like obviously a Primaling Sato is gonna be better at the brawl. They do trade a bit, but that ball though. They do, okay, let's see. Like, they do, like, get a few picks, Rain, but, like, Defiant have respawns. You don't want to take, like, such trades. Because, you don't want to, like, trade players because, like, every player that Rain loses is, like, for Toronto, it's almost like killing 2, so. Anyways, Michelle carries this fight because, like, well, like, once Winston is the fight, Winston just has more staying power. And, like, that allows Michelle to be more aggressive of the Zaryas. Like, that's why just Rain can't just brawl, even with ultimates. Their comp sucks at brawling, it's a poke comp. And now they switch to, like, brawl, like, you know, actual brawl. Finally, that's a good comp for brawling. They should have done this, like, 2 minutes ago if they wanted to, you know, fight ground battles with double bubble. So now they switch to brawl, which kind of makes it hard for, like, Defiant because, like, now, like, Atlanta can just, you know, try to clear the high ground, and then, like, and then they have quite the ultimates. Like, they don't really have, like, these other 2. They don't have, like, beat engages and stuff. So they have, like, some zoning ultimates, honestly, and Graph, which is obviously good. But Toronto, they have, like, almost duplicate Zarya, like, Grav, and, like, Rally. So I envy, like, Defiance, like, alt bank more right now. So right here they take the high ground while Pelican pressures cart. That's reasonable. And they grab them here, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, like, about this. So if they knew that this was gonna happen, like, if they knew that they wanted to grab them, well, like, I think Sato might have, like, not scouted this change. I mean, not Sato. Like, Defiant didn't scout this change. Because, like, normally, like, against a ball comp, like a ball, tracer, a Zen comp, like, Sato doesn't want to play, like, 2 split from his team. Why? Because, like, ball and tracer can easily just force him out with, like, the Zen Discord to, like, help take, like, take control of, like, wherever Sato's staging from, like, Defiant. But, like, so, like, I think Sato's afraid of, like, you know, taking splits because of it. But, like, since they switched to Brawl, now it's, like, actually a lot safer to take splits. And in this case, maybe Sato could have, like, set up, like, you know, when this grab is going to happen, let them come out a bit and then circle around here. Maybe, like, go behind them. But, even then, like, if this, you're going to be stuck in a small room with a Brawl comp, which isn't desirable. Honestly, maybe this grab was just a bit too early. As you can see, it's like, right in the door, but, like, this gives you, like, only one angle to attack. And yeah, like, but does Last Group get a good nade or something? Because here's the thing, like, regardless of what this is still, like, a huge amount of cleave damage for Sato. I'm not gonna lie about it. They're on Rein Zarya, so, like, why not? Well, they had a graph to pop. And a counter graph, but holy, big nade, big nade. That's the disadvantage of running Zarya. That's why you don't run Rein Zarya, kids. Like, you do, like, good damage after, like, 20 seconds into the team fight, but, like, in exchange you like, throw the first 20 seconds of the team fight. So I take, like, you know, not throwing the first 20 seconds of the team fight. So, yeah, like, they just win off, like, the... And obviously now they want to go Diva. They don't want Lastro getting another, like, 4-man aid. So, now, like, ooh, aggressive. And generally, like, when like, double bubble teams, they want to go aggressive, they just set up in aggressive positions. They don't, like, try to, like, set their core up passively to, like, try to, like, weaken the enemy, like, weaken Rain before. Like, they just, like, you know, okay, here's a trap. You push into the trap, we kill you. But, like, let's see this. So, like, Defiant, I don't know what's happening with the scouting, but, like, if anything, Defiant should have rotated away. Try to clear, even maybe clear these people out first before, like, going in. But this is just pushing into, like, Defiant's kill box. like where they want the fight to happen. And holy shit, this aggression though, I love it. Perhaps not ideal aggression. Now Pelican actually does the right thing here. So instead of trying to like, you know, frontline this, like he actually tries to contest this angle so he can deny. He can like deny Defiant from like pincering completely with like the Ashe. But that doesn't matter. They just take a really forward fight, and they win off of it because they have the ultimates to back it up. So I anticipate that. Yeah, I see. Like Defiant, they don't have ults. They're now gonna play like more passively in an attempt to like maybe farm rally or graph. Oh, so they have to clear the high ground, like, despite, like, seeing them do the same thing over and over again, this is actually what they have to do. Like, if they just push under here, try to force cart, then, like, poke, drop on backline, high energy right clicks maybe, and nade. You don't want that. So, yeah, 49 energy, that's quite a bit once you have Sato go in. So Pelican, like, just, like, splits off too early. Like Rain isn't even taking credible attention from... Look, Rain isn't even drawing any attention. Like, the rest of Rain isn't drawing attention when Pelican dies. This can't happen. This is a sloppy mistake. And without a Tracer, like... Guess what? That's what you can do without a Tracer. You can, like, Nice can, like, actually, like, take, like, really aggressive angles now. Hisu can also, to an extent, if possible. Sato can like try to like pincer or try to go behind, even though like this isn't desirable because it's into the small room. But losing that Tracer is bad, and it looks like they might wait for Pelican to come back. Smart and also like, well, like yeah, waiting. Smart and also risky as well because you have to have someone touch cart, and Hawk has to do the cart duty. So now, like, they... So now they have at least have, like, kind of a support ultimates, and generally support ultimates are used in Brawl, like, just to make space. Like, even Beat now is, like, sometimes used not defensively, but, like, just to WN. And combined with, like, the speed boost, like, from Lucio, then you can actually get a... You can actually try to, like, rush the core down before, like, the diver's gonna leave it. But right here, well, what does Hawk do? Hawk plays under the high ground, smart. But now as you can see, like the Rain popped the window. At least this will force them down. It will give them some map control, which they can use. Problem is it's OT, so they can't. They have to put someone in cart, and that could be an easy picking. So right here, like I'm expecting, I want. Why is Hisubi? Oh wait, but like, let's take a look at like how like Toronto's DPS are doing. So like, well, meanwhile this is happening. Hisu actually takes a really aggressive off angle. Pelican should really be trying to clear this. Pelican shouldn't be stacking with like Hawk on cart. Like Hawk is gonna live like. He's a tank until like, and like even then you're gonna get advance warning when he's gonna die. So I'm not sure why Pelican's stacking under the cart. Like 2 on cart isn't gonna do much anyways. And so like this is extremely risky because like look, it's cut off from Brig, like fully cut off. But I wouldn't be surprised that because like Pelican's just AFKing down cart. Instead of like, you know, punishing these splits, like, this is like, you know, the classic Tracer syndrome. Classic Tracer. Instead, he decides to go for an Ana who has a Brig next to him. I'd say, like, I sometimes say him, like, because the player is Lastro and he's male, or I sometimes say the hero, but, like, in this case, Ana is a she, but, I've decided, like, to be more consistent, I'm just going to refer to, like, who the player is. Well, they're all hymns right now. I wish Gigri was back in the league, though. Like, her Zarya was pretty good. Anyways, so now Pelican finally, like, punishes the split, but how does Kai die, though? Do he just give up the high ground, like, en masse? Oh! Oh, they just jumped the high ground. Like, now they're taking a brawl on point, which is understandable, but now, like, Defiant pop ultimates against Shatter doesn't matter. They have rally armor, and now, like, that's a consequence of leaving your Echo, like, Echo on the flank. Like, look, like, Pelican really fucked up this fight. They popped the beat, but literally, like, they can just wait. They can just wait it out. Does the grab get eaten? Does the grab get eaten? This graph. But, like, yeah, like, Pelican does eventually punish the split on Hisu, but it's too late. You do the right thing, like, late, then Overwatch is a fast-paced game. And look, you just lose. So right there, like, Atlanta are just so bad at, like, you know, actually, like, knowing how to take map control. Like, they just let Toronto, like, have all these flanks and, like, you know, for free. Like, they are taking the high ground, which is good, but, like, that isn't enough. You need to, like, clear the flanks first before, like, pushing in. And like, you have a Tracer. That's, like, here's the thing. Like, Tracer is actually good when you're not in a mirror, like, in Brawl. Just because, like, Tracer can like, limit, like, comps, like, double bubbles and, like, to a lesser extent, ball comps' aggression, because, like, you can have Tracer, like, you know, if someone split from their team, you can have Tracer, like, 1v1 them and they're favored to win. I say less against, like, ball comps, because ball comps have, like, the Harmony Orb and the Discord Orb to, like, kind of like turn, like, the duel around. Like, even if it was an Echo, like, if it was an Echo, if they're running, like, an Echo, for example, like, you can Harmony your Echo and Discord the enemy Tracer, and like, unless the Tracer gets an insane one clip, like, the Echo's gonna win. Echo just has healing, Tracer just has, like, 25% more damage taken. So, right here, this is interesting. Now they played a Mei. I'm not a big fan of this Mei, just because, like, well, it's good here probably, but good at this choke, but, like, once you do get to second point, like, it's just gonna be, what are you gonna do with the Mei? Like, against a mobile comp like this. Like, Mei is useful for, like, points where they're, like, thin chokes, or, like, where you can easily try to cut off the core from retreating, but, like, this isn't one of the maps, I'd say. Until, like, it isn't gonna be, like, really good until you get to at least third point. Or, like, this Mei could just be a tech pick for this spawn hold here. Yeah, so, like, this is common for, like, Brawl teams. Like, they turtle here, and, like, they're not really, they might not be looking to win the fight from here. Like, if you like, you know, go out here, then, like, boom, 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 everything just, like, rains from above. But it's just that, like, they're trying to stall the payload. Like, they can contest from here, and, like, if they lose, like, so what? Like, if it takes, like, Defiant 1 minute to break this, then, like, that's actually a win, because that's, like, 25% of the push. So, this is basically like a spawn hold, a fancy spawn camp. And how Defiant are gonna break this is not by Wing in, but they're just gonna poke. So they have the Junkrat to poke into here. Oh, and this is actually good. Like, the Junkrat's gonna do so much poke. And LA Glads, like, they try to break this with a Pharah, but I don't really like the Pharah for breaking this, because, like, great, you have the height advantage, what are you gonna do with it? But, like, the Junkrat is, like, probably the perfect counter to this. because like D.Va can only DM for so long, and combined with pressure from Nice, like this is a strat, but this is she strat. Like the more traditional strat would be to not play Reaper, but instead like have a Kree, you maybe have Tracer, and or even like Kree Reaper. And then what you would do is like you would take splits, soft splits, and then like you try to like poke out Sado, poke out you know, Nice. Maybe this would be a Tracer, which is a bit harder to poke out, but at least you can have a flashbang. And you just poke like these people out before they engage, and then you not like really these people, but these people mainly. And like you build up to like support ults, like especially Beat. The window can make space, but Beat is like, and then like afterwards you just like look to Beat engage or go for like aggressive like engages on the core, or you can even punish the Winston for like going aggressive as well. The Brawl, if anything, Brawl doesn't lack its damage, like straight on like, you know, close range damage. Anyways, right here, like, yeah, they just break the spawn camp, and the drawback of spawn camping here is that, like, you just give up this arch. Now I want Defiant to be taking, like, positions around the point. So, like, they're gonna have a Mercy Pocket, which is a common tactic against Brawl, and the reason is because, like, you don't really need the Brig to, like, peel anymore, just because, like, and the Brig isn't gonna be really useful once Brawl closes the distance, because, like, honestly, once they do close the distance, it's just gonna be GG's. Ooh, this is excellent connection. But like the Mercy, like on the other hand, like it just increases the poke power of like the double bubble team, and like it's just gonna like make it hard for like Rain to like take a fight without like, you know, losing the poke battle beforehand. Just a bit, just like 30% extra damage is big. So they do eventually, now maybe I wanted like, maybe I would have wanted like a Defiant to like take more aggressive positions. Maybe put Sado like here. Put Sado here, put maybe like Michelle on cart. Well, like I would prefer like something like, maybe even Junkrat on cart could be good, because like Junkrat can just like use like mines to jump out if necessary. Anything that can escape like anyone speeding onto you. I don't really like Sado pushing cart here, but in this case, like they don't have like control, so they're just all in here, so like they can't really just stop Rain from taking the space. And now, but like they do have a plan, and this is good. So right here, they just pop the nano, and like Sado goes in, and what like Rain have to do is like they have to like, they can't really like, you know, single-handedly kill. They don't, like, for one, they have like a Mei, which isn't really good for burning down Winstons anyway. So they just have to like, well, absorb this dive. There's like not much they can do. But like Sado goes in, and importantly, Hisu like pops the ultimate. So they're combining their pressure. Like when they're not just tiring because like they want to tire. They're waiting until Sado like draws so much attention that like the tire just like bursts the kettle, so to speak. Hawk just killed a tire though. And let's see, is their core pushing up? So as you can see, they're taking angles. The Massa's like Massa's gonna die. But it isn't, I don't think it's gonna, oh shit, I'm sorry for skipping so much, I accidentally. But like, there, like, Massa's just gonna die. Massa's just playing baby, like, discount Tracer. And Iris dies as well. And now this is gonna be an easy fight. Like, in Brawl, like, none of your ultimates, except, like, maybe, like, D.Va Bomb and Freeze are particularly strong. And even then, Freeze isn't really strong against Double Bubble unless you can close the distance to the core. Like, any divers that you can freeze, it's just gonna be like, whoops. So, like, Yeah, like any divers can get under freeze is just gonna get out. So like Rain have two options. They can either hold close, or like they have to take the high ground. Like they can't have like Hisu just take the high ground for free, or else like Hisu just pokes from here with a Mercy Pocket. Goodbye, 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 and then eventually like goodbye. So right here, but Define, like they are coming. I don't envy Rain's position. Like they have Shatter, but honestly, like Shatter's a dog ultimate anyways. Like it's probably the most overrated ultimate in the game. But oh my god, like you don't have a Rhine. You can't block Shatter. Switch to Rhine now. Like come on, that's bad game design. And secondly, like people are smarter now, so I'm sorry for my rant. Let's continue on with the VOD. So right here, like they can just like look to like bait out like Hawk's like. Lastro gets a good nade, probably just Hawk not reacting. But now as you can see, Sato goes in aggressively with the primal, and now like Defiant should be starting to look to push up.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
Big Shatter. And yeah, they're just gonna win. Sato dies, so what? Yeah, Sato already made the space. And yeah, that's an easy team fight win. Now go high ground, Defiant, go high ground. And like, they switch to the Tracer, like, this is a good switch. It at least prevents like Sato from like, you know, staging in overtly like aggressive positions. So they put, I would prefer like Michelle to also go high ground as well. I'm not sure why Michelle's on low ground. They might be 3ing on cart this. They might, well, they're not even. I think what Toronto are doing there is they're actually trying to 3 on cart so that like eventually this high ground isn't gonna matter as much. So like they're trying to like, you know, make the high ground a bit irrelevant. So by the time Atlanta take the high ground, cart's already here. And yeah. So Atlanta, like, they take the high ground, but it doesn't really matter. Hisu can just rotate to this high ground. They should be taking the high ground regardless because like you don't want like, you know, Winston like here just ready to drop down if you go here. So clearing the high ground's good, but like it's not gonna get as much value as like if the cart was like previously there. As like, I mean, if the cart was like near here. So like now like Iris is close to like window though. Okay, let's see this engage. This engage just look a bit scuffed from Toronto. Like I don't know why it just feels a bit scuffed. So anyways, they have like, I'm not sure why like no one's taking this angle. Like you see, like if anyone takes this angle, these two are dead. I'm not sure why they're just stacking with each other. They don't know the Tracer's there, and even if there was a Tracer there, then they're only, who's gonna dive with them? Fucking Massa on Lucio. I mean, Massa's a good player, but so nobody pincered with Sato, so it's not. So it just forces on Immor, and yeah, you know the case with Immor, overpowered ability. But but the problem is that like I just think now Gator tries to pin, so they are going in aggressively, but in that time their backline gets mega split. I think maybe they should have been peeling back. Maybe they should have peeled back for like for like you know, for like Iris and Kai. They don't really have the best crossfires, Defiant. And even then, like, they could just pop the window to discourage, like, Defiant from just doing it, but... So they don't hard peel, instead they aggress, and that's okay, but... But the problem is that, like... Massa gets 2. But the problem is just that, like, yeah, the thing with, like, aggressing, they have, like, you have no beat to help you. Like, beat would have been really useful here just because you could beat in. But, like, that doesn't solve the problem of, like, you know, these people being separated. So, I think the hard peel was the best option. But, in all the chaos... I predicted it. Like, like Pelgin's gonna dive with Massa. And actually succeed. So this is just like, sloppy. Like, that's one of the disadvantages of not running Brig, though. Unexpected dive squads. And look, Massa gets... They actually win the fight. So it was kind of sloppy. It was just like probably like some micro, like maybe like Ansunjay didn't like heal. But they do eventually like res one, and then they can... And like more importantly, they got the card past like this important high ground. So now it's the work is cut out for them. Sato just stages, Nice just stages elsewhere with the Mercy Pocket. And yeah. Now I would really want to see like they want a window eventually to make space. So they poke out here. Well, they just kind of hide from this window though, so I don't think there isn't any relevant space to be made even. They could have, like, you know, maybe tried to like kite back like Defiance Aggression and then window to punish it. That's what I think. They might benefit from holding a bit more passively, but. Oh, but no, holy shit, they do look mega split here. They don't have a like, Defiant don't have a Tracer, but they still have Echo and Winston. So, oh, how does Kai kill Hisu? So, as you can see, like, the window does make space for them to at least push up a bit. And... splitting, like, initially, yeah, like, this is good because it can poke out. You can maybe poke out Winston or get picks like that. But eventually, like, Rain, they have to be careful. They have to, like, come back. Well, once the dive does happen. Gator overextends. Like, they got the pick. Now, like... Now all Toronto has to do is, like, stop holding the space. Like, they're gonna, like, just, like, stage behind and, like, go around you. And, like, there's a Winston behind you, so, like... Just back up. As you can see, like, look at how much pressure, like... their backline is having. Gator's just standing here, like, doing, like, you know, what like, Temporal likes to call it a Rhine dance. Like, bruh. It gets a shatter, and now you see shatter, not a real... you might get a good shatter, but even then, it's no guarantee. And Hisu just gets rezzed. Mercy. Classic. So, Gator just played, like, way too aggressive. I mean, he didn't even swing a lot. Like, he recognized that he's not getting healing, and he just stood there. Like, I wonder why I'm not getting healing. It's because my backline is getting pressured. Like, yeah, let them clear the divers first, and then you can go in with, like, ultimates, like even Shadow, for example. Now, this is a stagger fight, so they just switch the ball for temporarily, I guess. And they... wait, how did Kai get there? How did Toronto not notice? Oh, it happens. Yeah, it happens, but it isn't going to be significant, I think. Maybe someone should have, like, been positioned here to, like, not only get an extra poke angle, but also, like, yeah, but that's another disadvantage of running Mercy. You can't really have both your DPS split. Otherwise, like, you know, taking really deep splits, like, can't take as much map control. And that allows things like Kai's High Noon to happen. And it actually is significant. It burns out a lot of time. But yeah, they should win this. Oh, Michelle on point. So yeah, like, drawbacks of running like Mercy versus Brig. So let me just go off on a bit of tangent. yeah, like Mercy advantage is like one word: poke damage. Like, yeah, basically poke, and the fact that you can have like 1 DPS like being like really good. So like if you have like, you know, a really good DPS player, like you can, like, for example, let's say like you have Decay on Ashe or something, then like let's say you were like coach of like Washington and you want Decay to, like, you know, pop off, so you might decide, hey, let's pocket Decay and pray that he does his thing. So like it's basically like Mercy. Oh, my handwriting kind of sucks here. Let me write this again. So Mercy is basically like more poke and you can pocket. But Brig, what does Brig provide? Brig provides peel and control. And what do I mean by control? So like, let's go back to like so obviously peel means that, you know, Brig can like pack people from afar, and like like, you know, if anyone tries to, like, you know, dive like Ana, then like Brig's Ana or Brig's Zen, then like boom, mace to the face. So, but anyways, take a look at this High Noon. How was it possible? It was possible. Like, this isn't like made possible because like Rain were, because like, you know, Defiant were running Mercy. This was made possible, but this is made like easier, and the reason is because like, take a look at this kill. Like, who's controlling this angle? Like, imagine if there was an Ashe here, and like could actually, you know, shoot Kai like a bit and poke him out before he can do the High Noon. So with a Mercy, like this Mercy like would be a bit scared of being here, because like this would cut like the Mercy off from the core, and like if Mercy has to Guardian Angel back to the core, like that is impossible. And you have Overwatch League hit scans like in the way, and like Overwatch League supports as well. So like Mercy would be scared of being here. So, but like Brig, on the other hand, let's say Brig's positioned somewhere on like maybe on this high ground, then look at the LOS that Brig has. And the healing range that Brig has is like 30 meters. I think Brig could actually reach like, you know, an Ashe here. So Ashe could like absolutely be here and not get like 1v1 and lose the 1v1. And like, so like playing Brig allows like your team to split apart more, your DPS especially, to split apart more and take map control. So like you could have like Nice here next to Brig, poke from this angle. Or like, and then you can have Hisu like all the way over here. And what if Kai like tries like, you know, dual like, you know, Ashe? Here's your armor pack. Good luck. Good luck, you know, getting support by your fucking BAP like Lucio heals. So like, yeah, like Brig is just, if there was a Brig, if like Defiant were playing Brig, then Hisu could have positioned like maybe here, and like actually prevented like Kai from getting a 2-man High Noon. So, in summary, like, yeah, that's what I mean by Brig helps in map control. It just allows your team to play split and take control of like all the flanks. So, anyways, let's skip to like the next fight. And by the way, God, it's easier with like the Overwatch League viewer. I don't have to watch like, you know, entertainment observer, like entertainment focused like observer cams anymore. So right here, Defiant are on like, maybe Sal's gonna switch to Winston eventually. This is like a weird transitory comp. Like, you would want Ana, not Ana, like you would want like Zen here instead, but this is probably gonna work like similar to Double Bubble. Like, just have Ball like slam, and then like since we have ultimates, we can immediately just try to hard engage. But like, what does Rain want to do? Like, I'm more focused on Rain right now. Rain needs to like get their bums up on high ground. and that's what they do. And before pushing in, they have to clear Michelle, clear nice if possible, but clear angles so that you don't get grabbed. Michelle is scared of, like, you know, the rush, obviously, so it's forced to drop, but there's pop, there's Q to, like, stop this. I keep looking at Rain's ultimates, and I was seeing if there's an opportunity to beat engage, but, like, Rain, they're forced to use their ults defensively, and it's just tragic because, like, offensive, like, you know, ult usage is like the way you beat like this, like early on in the fight before they're able to set up and like get high energy and, like, you know, pop their ults, which are really cheap and powerful. So, like, they're just forced to use their ults defensively, and look, they just pop Q and they had to drop from high ground, but it didn't matter. Like, they just use ults to take the space, and Toronto wins. Bruh. So, anyways, like, yeah, like, Defiant just did a good job of, like, you know, ultimate usage. They sometimes pay good on, like, their angles and stuff, but generally, like, I'd say, like, they did pincer when it was truly, like, necessary, and they just use their ults, like, probably that good, and, like, sometimes, like, Rain just, like, kind of over-aggresses sometimes and doesn't play for, like, peel often, which, like, Brawl can actually do, and, like, which is actually can be an option for Brawl and, like, ball combos where you can have ball peel for a Winston. So anyways, let's move on to the next match. I have to find it again, but Temple of Anubis, and this is, like, the home of, like, Toronto's, like, 6-minute Anubis B hold. It was like I watched it, like, earlier, like 2 days ago, and it was absolutely brutal. It was just a masterclass, honestly. And so give me a bit. So right here, Rain are running the Brawl again. That's, like, probably what they've been most practiced on, and like, Defiant are running, like, double bubble with, like, the Echo Ash. So, like, Rain is probably just gonna be, like, Rain's gonna clear angles first, probably just force point, and their main bargaining chip they have against Defiant is, like, you know, point pressure, because, like, Defiant, like, they're not just gonna go into a fight, like, instantly. They're not gonna devolve this into a brawl. Like, this brawl comp is superior at the start. You have to wait for time for ultimates to build up before this brawl comp becomes more powerful. So, like, Rain is probably just gonna clear angles, clear this surface platform first, and then go onto point. Or they might take this rotation, like, up to high ground, so they can set up their, like, Kree here, and then, like, they can just set up their own, like, crossfire. So let's see how this goes. So, right here, what Rain are doing is exactly as I predicted. They try to, like, clear this high ground, and like, what this would do is force, like, you know, obviously Defiant to get back on point, but more importantly, like, you know, the core, like, they have to be careful now. They're now within brawl range. If they aren't careful, then they just get rushed. And and if they get rushed, this would like force Sado to, like, Sado should be, like, soft engaging here. So as you can see, let's see what Sado does. Sado soft engages here, gets energy. How much energy? 23, not bad. And then Sado wants to, like, interrupt the road, like, you know, the push here. So, like, another thing is that Winston is, like, trying to, like, you know, force out, like, cooldowns and stuff by, like, engaging in multiple locations. And like Ryan, where, like, kiting is a tough act, and you might have to, like, and if you don't like hold like your choke successfully, like you might just die. Like Winston can jump out, jump in, jump out. So like, but like the pressure is not enough. Like the pressure from Sado is not enough to stop them. Like ideally, like you want like Lastro to like even. The best chance of winning this neutral fight outright is like Lastro landing a nade from that. But if Lastro dies, oh, I didn't see this. Nice dies. So Nice just goes a bit too aggressive. Oh, no. Like, especially if you know they're going to play Diva. So that's too aggressive. And Hawk, like, doesn't want to get caught in the rotation. Hawk could choose poke out Sado, but I think they would prioritize the rotation over that. But, and also, like, Sado still has Lastro LOS. But, like, look, right here, they just, like, you know, make Answer J burst. They just burst him down. Like they kite it in different directions, which normally can work really well, just because like if you kite in multiple directions, then like you can set up like, you know, a new defensive position where like there's a threat from multiple angles and you can get good stuff. So, but like there's not a lot of reason for Brig to kite in multiple angles, like separate from the rest of her team. Well, like if anything, maybe Lastro can consider doing that, but now they just get rushed. They just snowball. So Sloppy from Nice and Sloppy from Ansonjay. I don't know how. I'm not Korean, so I don't know how to pronounce. Ooh, interesting. But here's the 6-minute hold, and I'm gonna spoil it a bit because like I want to spoil it, but here's the thing, like they hold for 6 minutes, and I don't think they even let like Rain take a tick, which is honestly incredible. And like this is I saw this like 2 days ago on like you know, the actual like League video, and like oh my god, it was like the like some of the best Overwatch I've ever watched ever. Like Defiant, like they just like cycle their ultimates really well, and their engages were just some micro errors, but like general, like their engages were just so good, so good. You know, like if I were Rain, I don't know what I would do. So like let me show you all. So like right here, what Rain's options are, like they want to like either force point, put some point pressure so that they have to overcommit onto point to stop it, or like use tempo ultimates like beat to like speed onto the core, or they could try to punish like splits, but in this case it's Sombra Echo. They have mobility, so like you're not really gonna punish splits, or like they can try to like take like soft splits and have Kai try to poke out like anyone who's too separated. But like importantly, how will Toronto defend against this? The simple answer, firstly, they're taking angles, and they're trying to like cover like the like key, like, you know, the key like routes to the point, so that like they can't just rush onto point with like cooldowns and resources available. And secondly, look at their splits though. Their splits are either like mutually supporting. So like what I mean by that is like Sado is like taking this angle, but Sado will have Lastro LOS. Hisu is Sombra, so like she doesn't need to have like core LOS, but like the thing is that she still needs to have like LOS of like his team eventually when like she EMPs and stuff, so that his team can actually exploit it. And in this case, like yeah, sometimes they just take the fight out of here, but like Toronto are just like set up in like a really good defensive position, and like this would probably force like maybe like Rain to like go right instead of left, and that's one nitpick I have. That I think maybe they should have tried to go right outside of like, you know, Hisu like taking this angle, because like a team can really only like you know, cover 2 angles well, like 2 lanes well, like mid, right lane, and then like the right side flank, and then they can't really cover the left flank as well. So but let's see how it goes. I already know how it goes, so but I want to review it now that the replay is available. And this Sombra pick, like Hisu switched from Ashe to Sombra, and Sombra's actually a really good Brawl counter. Why? Because Brawl does not have enough poke damage to like force out Sombra like quickly. This would allow Sombra to farm like 30, 40, 50% of EMP per fight. And like if you can farm like 50% of EMP per fight, that just means that your cycle is obvious. You pop EMP one fight, and then the other fights, you just pop like these ults. Easy. Easy clap. So so right here, like this is like Rain's chance to like, you know, get some ticks. Because like Defiant don't have ultimates yet. But like notice what like Defiant are doing. Sadow's going in, but like that Michelle doesn't go in yet. And why? Because like firstly he doesn't have energy like usually. But more importantly like they still have like some space to give, so like, and there's no advantage of like at the moment. Like you just want to like play slow, farm, duplicate, farm like primal. So like Michelle doesn't go in. Neither does the rest of the core. And you might be wondering why doesn't like Gator just rush the core? The answer. Oh, let's say you're Ryan. Oh, firstly, they walled this off. They're scared of the core. But more importantly, let's look at this rush. So the Gator takes some poke, it's healed up, but like firstly, like imagine trying to rush like this, like good micro positioning though. Like Michelle's like jumped up all the way up to here just to make it a bit harder. Like it's these micro things that separate top players from like, you know, just your average ladder like player. But more importantly, like they're taking angles. Like you want to push into this, you want to push into potential nade, you want to push into echo, like poking your backline, you want to push into this, just like, you know, the beast of a player. You want to push into like, well, even like a potential break bash on something cheeky. Oh, and finally, you want to push it without clearing Sombra first. Like if anything, like why is Hisu allowed to farm this much? 26% already off of that short decloak. And right here, like, now Sato just goes ham, pops ultimates, and Massa is just out of position. Yeah, so that's the end of the fight. And now Rain's gonna have their work cut out for them. Like, they have ults, but like, can they really do much with these ults? Like, these ults are better. I take these ults over like fucking Shatter. Freeze, that doesn't work against immobile heroes. Fucking Window, like in these like small sightlines. Like no, I wouldn't take these. Like zoning ultimate, like yeah, good luck getting sightlines free. Yeah. So right here, like they're trying to do it again, but like as you can see, they're set up for the nano engage, so this is important. So like now like Nice like takes a bit too much damage, I think. He should be able to heal up though. Hisu is behind, and I'm surprised nobody tried to scout him out first. And the person who will be scouting out is Hawk, because D.Va is good for scouting out. Like look, scout out like Hawk isn't even shooting. Like he's just like AFKing, looking at like the enemy. Like hey, he's trying to like stare Nice to death. Like that isn't gonna happen. And so like, but like here's the important thing. So like, they go in with the nano engage, but this time it was actually a mistake. Why? Because like look, where's gonna be like the pincer from like Nice. Like if ideally like maybe have Ansunjae like maybe have Nice here, but I think it will have Nice here, Ansunjae here would be ideal, but I think this nano was just a mistake. They're playing in this really close space, which isn't really good for pincering. For like, you know, getting a pincer play, like you would have to send some DPS here. And this just allows them to kite back Sato. But it does force out the freeze. This is big. And like the nano engage was bad, but that doesn't stop, like... So they popped Kai pops the high noon to make space, presumably, yeah? But it isn't gonna matter. Like, just nobody's scouting out the Sombra. Like, what is Hawk doing? Oh, Hawk is trying to spy check, but the Sombra's not gonna hide there. The Sombra's behind you. And Hawk tries to take this off angle. Okay, but Kai just gets hacked during it. And look at this. Like, you have the window to make space. Like, congrats. Now we're gonna push on the point. Are gonna push on the point into like all these angles. So, but look at this. Like, Defiant are making are creating like a concave on point. Like, they have multiple angles on the point, so that makes it hard for Rain to like you know, push up. And now like they just go in with the grab and they beat the grab. They get shatters, but. So, like, Rain already popped 5 ults to try to, like, even get onto point. Like you see how Brawl ults are, like, so bad? They're so easily counterable. And, yeah, like, this is a big anti. It was probably, like, it forces outbeat by Massa. And they are able to take the space, but the problem is... Let's see where Gator goes, actually. Firstly, like, the purple's huge. Like, even once the beat expires, Boom is dead. So, like, all like, Defiant have to do is, like, kind of kite back and, like... And try to, like, go in when, like, their HP, like, Rain runs out of, like, beat shields. And, but, like, yes. I don't think they even needed to pop the, like, the primal necessarily. Well, they do quickly get healed up. Did Gator, like, I think Gator should have tried to go in aggressively to beat engaged, but damn, Hawk's not feeling. So micro-wise, I don't like this DM usage. Like Hawk isn't really DMing anything. Like, he's DMing a lot of spam, but like they have shields for that. Like, maybe it does, like, maybe it was necessary. But in any case, like, Defiant, like, they're able to just put so much more pressure. But, like, if anything, this is well played by Defiant. Like, they played, like, a bit more defensively when, like, the Rain were stronger. They coordinated, like, a pincer by Hisu and the rest of the team. And they popped their ultimates, like, they use ults that were necessary to win, and they didn't just go into the point and try to feed. And they didn't go into the small ass room and try to feed. And oh, Hawk just gets staggered. Look at this. This was brutal. Yeah, just brutal staggers. Just got burned a lot of time. Yay. So alright, that's like almost half their time. Half the 6 minutes. As good as Forever, but in this but Forever has already like run half its course. So anyways, now Hawk, you notice Sombra's like hiding there. Maybe it was kind of a mistake for Hisu to even hide in the same position, but and Hisu's EMP now, like Defiant like popped so many ultimates, and you expect, Rain's gonna expect like, hey, free win, right? But it isn't gonna matter. Like Hisu's EMP, like EMP can just win fights by itself. Like, is anyone trying to scout Hisu? And let me slow down this engage, and let me demonstrate like how important it is to like pincer. So right here, the EMP, right? But what stops him from just kiting back? The simple answer, just engaging from multiple angles. So like, As like Shadow goes in, you know, Lastro like tries to like heal Shadow from this angle, but like at the same time, Michelle and Sunjay, nice, they go from this angle, and like this makes it hard for like you know, Rain to like kite back, because what are they kiting back to? Into high energy like Michelle, and it just does so much damage. Okay, this nano was a mistake though, because look, because like they're 5v6, and even if you lose here, they have respawns. But more importantly, they already use him more, and you're really healthy. You're actually reasonably healthy. So like, and you're almost up to the duplicate. So like, if anything, like if to secure the fight, you just have to pop duplicate. Like, it's a worse ultimate than like Nano. So this was like overcommit by Lastro, and it's gonna make it possible for like the Rain to like get onto point next fight without like, you know, getting pincered like that again. Now, Hawk, I want you to scout for Sabra, who is hiding in the same position every fight. Well, hey, at least he's just throwing in like the bag now, but more importantly, like look at how they're setting up. They're setting up now more aggressively. And now, what is Sato gonna do? Let's take a look. They just aggressively engage. Oh, sorry for skipping. Sorry, I just keep clicking on like the. Let's go back to there. So like now. Now they almost have Grav. They poked their way to Grav. But more importantly, look. So Sato goes in knowing that he can survive using the primal, but this looks like a feat, but it's actually fine. And why? Firstly, Sato is primal. Secondly, there's a pincer from Hisu, which makes it like risky for them to just kite this back. But more importantly, look, the core are actually pushing up, and like now they're taking angles. Like even Lastro is taking an angle, and this is just gonna be devastating. Like, what are they gonna kite back into? Like now they just have to speed out. They have to speed out if they want to survive. So so like Massa does try to speed out, but like they're not really speeding out. But at the same time, look at what Toronto are doing. Look at what their core are doing. Their core is actually pushing up. And yeah, like the primal from Sato, look how much pressure there is. Like they popped the window, but it isn't gonna matter. They're just gonna go around the window. It isn't useful when the enemy is like in all directions. And now they have 5 ults, but like, and this is probably like the best chance they have like now. They like, if anything, Rain has to like use these ults like early and aggressively to like try to like make space. Even like the fact that you're using ults to make space is gonna be like undesirable. So now like Rain are going this way. Like they want to avoid like the same kill box like they set up there. It's gonna be harder for them to actually go in for Defiant because like you're protected from this side because it's a wall. But Hawk, try to like scout out for Hisu. Why are you trying to DM? So now they go left, but now I'm gonna try to rotate to point. But what if Toronto just said no? And so Sato gets nanoed, but like let's take a look at how this engage goes. So Sato gets nanoed. But like I think this nano wasn't good. Well, like I mean, I mean, oh, this is what they were doing. They were trying to actually buy time for the EMP, so they're trying to win off EMP, but the saddle is just nano just to zone them out. So this is actually smart. This like stupid looking plan is actually smart. It forces them to like at least kite back for a bit, and they're kiting back into a Hisu. And now look, they just EMP to win. So this is smart, using a nano to slow down the tempo. And they do eventually get this rotation, but they have EMP. That's the most important part. Hisu does get scouted out. And they actually rotate to point. Well, like... their plan... well, Hisu does get scouted out early, so I think that's why they couldn't EMP. So instead, like, they just let the rotation happen. They kind of have to now. But, as you can see, I think Hisu was looking to maybe... well, Hisu wasn't looking to EMP here, but... the team's not set up yet. But so they just looked to graph. And now they should pop the... but this is brilliant. So the Gator goes up, but like the bubble just cuts off the beat. Perfectly placed bubble. Cuts off like Masa's beat. Masa either has to choose to save Gator or to like save the core. So brilliant bubble by Sato. But Sato actually tried to line this up. I think so, actually, yeah. And, like, normally you wouldn't even bubble, like, here because, like, there isn't any, like, significant damage, but coming, like, Sato's way, like, they're all cut off, but... yeah, I think this was deliberately placed, and it changes the whole fight. Gator now dies, and what are you gonna do? Like, ideally they would want to, like, try to, like, use this, absorb this grab, and then they would beat engage and then try to, like, you know, clear the angles and then establish themselves on point. Problem is, look, there's still 3 ultimates to contend with, but they could use like Diva Bomb to like try to like they could hide Diva somewhere, and then when Hisu EMPs, then Diva flies in and tries to bomb so to zone them out of like the EMP. And yeah, like that changes the fight completely. And now like Hisu's behind, Hawk still needs a scout, and look, EMP engage. Like to nitpick here, like this is like kind of going in. They're kind of like pushing W into like the EMP, so like this isn't the ideal engage, but it's still like really it's still an EMP engage, and Lastro gets a huge nade. I think if Lastro didn't get a huge nade, like Rain have a chance of surviving. Like, does Sato have his jump cooldown? Oh, Sato didn't have his jump cooldown, that's why. But that's why he can just jump in and try to pincer her. But Lastro, like... but Lastro just gets a huge nade, and that's the end of the fight. And now, like, they... and another brutal stagger, apparently. So, now, like, Defiant know that, like, Rain have to, like, W into point. They can't rotate. Look at the time. So, like, a common thing is that, like, for teams to do is actually when in these types of situations, like, the defending team will try to play aggressively nearing the OT fight. And this is effective because, like, the counter to this would be, like, trying to clear your angles and, like, watch your 6 and, like, or maybe try to force point, but like you're already rushing to force point, and like you don't have time to clear angles. And right here, like, look, Sato just goes in with like, but more importantly, look what the core are doing, Wing in. They're not just saying, "Hey Sato, here's your team, here's your bubble, carry us." They're going in, and Masa gets a touch, but like it's a solo touch, so 6 minutes of defense, not even a single tick given. Wonderful stuff from Toronto. And yeah, this is just easy clap for Toronto, and it's just a masterful hold. Some wastage here and there, but like otherwise, it's just like I wouldn't like, you know, I don't have too many complaints about it. I don't even have like more than a few. It's almost perfect. So right here, like Defiant are playing double bubble and like what they want to do is like they either want to like send their core like to the left and like pinch with like, you know, Sato going in, like, you know, pinch this and force them off, so they have to kite back here. Or like they could have Sato go in and then to secure the rotation up here, and then they try to stage their like kill box from here. So like Sato here, Hisu somewhere in the high ground. Nice might take this angle, but let's see what they do. Oh, Junkrat spam. Now looking that they have a Junkrat, I don't think they really want to do like the pinching from the left option. So Sato plays under. Sato goes for soft engage, and let's see what the core are doing. Now like this is like actually odd, but I think what Defiant are doing is they're actually trying to farm nano here. As you can see, like if you usually see like the core, like they're not really like even rotating. This means they're just farming nano. And the reason they might be doing this is that they're acknowledging it's going to be hard for the core to like, you know, rotate left side because of the Junkrat spam. So like they just want to say, hey, we're not risking this. We're not risking Junkrat getting an early tire. We're just gonna farm nano. As you can see, Sato's taking damage. Sato's taking damage. And it's 2 CP, so like you get like a fight win like it's already half the map. Unlike, you know, Payload, where farming nano is less of a viable strategy. Like you spend 1 minute to farm nano, you might win the fight off the nano, but like that's already 1 minute wasted, and you only make like 10 meters of progress. So yeah, they do try to farm nano, and this is when the core will look to push up. Nice jump. So now the core have like some space to work with. Now they're gonna wait to stabilize first. And what Rain want to do maybe actually I think is they might actually just want to aggress. They might want to have like Hawk like deal with the flanks a bit, and then like they might just want to rush the core. They try to rush Sato instead, clear this angle. Yeah, so yeah, like so yeah, that's what they do. Rain just W in and boom, that's the fight. Probably. So that's the risk with farming nano. Like you lose when you get picked off after you get the nano play, the enemy kites back your nano. Yeah, that's like a waste of a minute. So let's see how this nano might have been better. So I think, and a lot of it will have to do with like nice. Like he wants to like be pincering with Sato to maybe get a kill. So Sato gets nano, and they look to go aggressively, but I actually might want to see like Nice actually sneak up to like a more aggressive position. So like Nice. So like when Sato soft engages, like he tries to sneak into like the enemy backline. It sounds weird, but he tries to sneak here, and then like after they get the nano, he goes from behind, try to prevent them from just kiting back here for free. So I want to see Nice like take a more aggressive angle. And Hisu playing like Ashe, like poke potential, but like no, not as much follow up. So like that was like I would have preferred Defiant to just go more aggressive with it. They were too passive. And now like yeah, that's like a good minute wasted, minute and a half actually. But at least like Defiant, they are close to ults, but Rain have a tire, so that's. So now like. They're probably gonna do the same rotation thing stuff. They're gonna They don't want to rotate left, probably because Junkrat, obviously, yeah. But Michelle does eventually get to the point where it can support. Now Sato actually gambles his life here. Well, I think he could have popped Primal here, but I think they just wanted to take the L here, actually, honestly. Because like Sato like could have popped Primal, but he chose to not do it. And this is understandable. Like they didn't want to like pop Primal only for like a 3k tire. And in any case, like if there's a tire, then the core don't really want to be pushing up. Like they're gonna be scared to push up. They want to be looking for the tire, but they can't do it push up at the same time. So now like Sato will probably go in with the Primal, and then Hisu will probably pop Bob on point to like make space to force them into like a really unfavorable like pincer situation. So now like Sato Primals to make space, and I want like Nice to like take angles, and that's what he does. He takes angles. Hisu's waiting to pop Bob on point. Now I'm not sure why they back. Oh, the high noon. So Rain like kite back and pop like 2 ults to like deal with the 1 Sato Primal. I take the train. And now they want to stabilize with their better positions. They want to take angles to prevent Rain from taking the space. Oh, they're actually looking for beat engage now, but honestly, like I'm not sure about this beat engage even. I honestly think they should try to clear, like, you know, maybe poke out Nice a bit first. But in any case, like their backline's not ready to really support this speed engage. Their backline's not ready. Like their backline's all the way back there. And more importantly, like they still haven't cleared the angle, so like Gator just pushed into an enemy pincer, like an enemy like defensive setup, and pays for it. And look, sloppy like execution, and Hisu pops like the Bob on point, and that just creates so much pressure. And honestly, I don't see how they can lose this. Now they have 3 minutes. Let's take a tick, and yeah, it does look like Rain do hold them for a bit. Now, double bubble attack B on B point can be a bit rough. There's like not a lot of high grounds to really stage from, and even these ones are really easy to poke out. But more importantly, like the sight lines will be a bit worse for like Hisu and Nice to a lesser extent. They might just look to farm Nano here. So you pop the tire. The Junkrat's gonna make it a bit tough to push into. Like, they might not want to push into here even, because they can look at how much Junkrat spam there will be. Like, if anything, Defiant might have wanted to tech in a D.Va just to, like, absorb the spam and close the distance. That's the biggest problem, like, as of now. So they want to do... So they do want to get Sato in there somehow, and I think you're going to use the Nano. Yeah. Now, Kai could... So this jump does separate Kai. This is a good, important micro play though. Because if Kai is left in the front, then like Kai could have just like said, "Fuck it, let's high noon the core. They can't support." And then we use cooldowns to survive, and Gator has to back up now. But look, this fight isn't clean. So he popped the window plus the thing. Like, this high noon just gets picks, and Sato could have tried to jump behind like them, like try to like get a further jump. This could have like helped actually, because it would have put more pressure on Kai to like while he's doing high noon, but the problem is that like he has no tracer. Like Sato has no tracer, so like he can't put as much pressure on the back line. And they almost get ticks, but they still. Now I'm last row.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Tracer.
Sato dies though. Which well, like, you know. And by the time Sato comes back, last row is like too far on point. I honestly think the core just played too aggressively on point there. They should have like backed up a bit and wait for Sato to come back. So right here, yeah, their ultimates are now a bit screwed. They're probably gonna look to like take one dry fight or maybe farm nano. So Pelican, let's talk about Pelican. Pelican's role is basically gonna be, if anyone split, I'm gonna punish them, and he's doing that to an extent. I don't know what extent, but to an extent. I don't know what Hisu's still pulling back. You can see he has to poke out the Echo. Clear the angle so you don't get picked off, and more importantly, like Sato gets a worse engage when he does. So like now he's gonna look to, and look, they actually teched in the D.Va. Like without the Zarya, like they're gonna look to like make more aggressive rotations. Because like the D.Va can directly support rotations, while the Zarya can only indirectly bubble like Sato to support rotation. So they're gonna rotate their, core to like their to like the small room. There's no Junkrat anymore. But in this case, Rain do go aggressive. Rain try to like punish like the DPS who are like the players who aren't in the room yet. Like Sato might probably survive, but like if there's anything, and yeah, like they just beat engage. So they try to clear like, so before like rushing Anson J, they try to clear this angle first, put some pressure before like going in and trying to rush. Like if they just rush, then their backline might just get picked off. So important. And honestly, this fight is just clusterfuck. But anyways, they use their rally though. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that rally. They should have just tried to dry fight, and they popped like Bob as well. Also not a big fan. So what I guess is just they're gonna farm nano. It looks like. CNC is looking back at last row. And now what Rain have to do is like, I think they have to like put some people like in really, have to put like some players in like, you know, backwards positions, and they have to look to like punish like engage. So they have to, you know, like you know, kite back this engage and then use the poke threat created by like, you know, Window and High Noon to like get picks as they go in and poke out Sato. So what I want to find to do to counter this is like rotate right side, and yeah. And look, they do get like an angle here, but it isn't ideal. Like right side also has a lot of cover. That's why I wanted them to push right side, but no, I'm not a big fan of like what Gator's doing. Well, like Gator's trying to get a good shatter, but like in the process, like his backline's under serious pressure, and now he can die. He just dies. And yeah, like the nano engage just wins it. So Gator just played I mean, it was understandable given that they had nano, but Gator just plays way too aggressively. And like, meanwhile, like, you know, Iris and like who else? Whoever McCree was, whoever played McCree there, like did like get like a decent like poke angle. Like thing was that like Toronto, they should have did it when Toronto was forced to be on point. Like there was like the core was on point, so they should have kited back, waited for like Toronto to get on point, and then like go in with not go in, like pop those ults. So like right here So right here, Defiant are playing like Ball Zarya, the poke comp basically, the ball poke comp, and like Rain are playing like Winston Diva. Interesting, yes. And like yeah, they have like Ana Mercy. So like the Mercy like on one hand like useful if they're playing Brawl, but like. Yeah, like here's the thing, like they're probably gonna try to use Hawk as a way to like maybe provide some peel for Iris and like try to like put pressure on like Sato and like Nice, but the thing is I like this comp better, and the reason is because like not only do you have more poke, you also have like more map control with like your Zen, and on this map control means a lot because look at how wide this map is. Like taking control of the flanks is really important. So I'm gonna actually look at this like mostly from top down because like map control is gonna be really important in this matchup. So what Rain want to do is that they want to use like their D.Va, and they want to like aggressively rotate their like backline to like aggressive positions where like Pelican can like actually like close the distance on last row. This comp is better in like shorter sight lines. This comp is better when it's allowed to poke it from long range. So so right here, let's see what happens. So Ball takes Sato takes like the right side, and try to position their core in this room, which is like I most often see it like here. I often see like core position here, but this is fine as well. And the reason you might not want to position here is because like you could have Winston just jump in and cut off like the core if you're not careful. So, but like it appears that like Gator has to like go in. Gator has to like try to like take map control aggressive, not map control, like press W, like that type of map control. Like try to press W, have like Hawk clear angles, try to clear as best as possible, and just move like closer. But meanwhile, like what Defiant want to do is they want to take like splits to like kind of poke out Winston and like D.Va and like Tracer, which they will do, but good with their like Harmony and Discord. So. Let's actually slow this down. So, Gator is going in. Let's see. The objective thing works. Gator's kind of going in. Gator's staging up here, and then, like, his plans to go in, but, like, firstly, like, his Ana's here. That's okay. Now, where's like, Pelican? So, they're going to look to pincer from Pelican this way and Gator this way. And what Defiant have to do at this moment is try to poke out Gator. Like, Gator's the obvious target. And let's see if they do it. So Gator gets a Discord. Good by Lastro. Lastro Discords Gator. Good. Even though you did have to peek the Winston, it doesn't really matter. Like, you want to prevent the Winston from even engaging. And Hisu, are you playing? This is a bit slow motion. Well, yeah, and like the Ashe, like, and the Ashe should like take angles to prevent Hisu from just poking for free. So both sides are taking their fair share of map control, but like Defiant, like Rain have to be careful. So here's a matchup. Kai is taking this angle to like prevent Hisu from getting an angle on like Winston, because like if Hisu really wanted an angle on Winston, like he'd probably go here. But like at least like from here he can like, I think Hisu might have been better going here trying to poke out the Winston, but it doesn't. But this is like just a more aggressive option, so to speak, where you don't want to play defensively to poke out Winston, but you just want to go for kill. But like the risk is that like you see, like they may have this like flank, but like Defiant have like the superior like flank clearing comp, and they're just Lacer's just gonna use like Discord Orb and Harmony Orb to like help like Ball Tracer like clear these flanks. And look at this, what happens. So Ball slams, Winston has to hard peel, but in the process, look at Nice is like just free. Pokes out Massa. Is Massa even positioned right? Oh, that sucks. That's why I don't like the Mercy. Like you can't. That's what happens when you go for map control as like a Mercy. You just die because you have a GA through enemy sightlines, and GA when the enemy's playing like a poke comp. And guess what? Toronto win the fight for free. So what could have like Rain did differently there? So firstly, I would switch to Brig. Secondly, I would like I would just like, you know, just try like go for like not as aggressive splits with the Mercy. We gotta stick with the Mercy. You just really just want to like take high ground, look and try to poke out like Hisu, who will have like less support. Poke out Hisu first. Try to poke out Ball if possible, because you do have the Mercy for poke. Let's see if like, you know, Kai actually had like the right target priority. Like Kai could poke out Hisu, but like if he can't get a good angle on Hisu, he should try to poke out Ball. Like if there's nothing better to do, then just put some shots in the Ball. But in this case, yeah, this is just a case of unfortunate. Like Massa just and Kai, like yeah, I like this comp way better. It just like gives them more map control, and they just win off the map control. I don't see any easy way for Rain to win, like unless they're able to get Gator into like short sight lines. So right here, like, good. They're trying to clear out Sato first. Sato probably feeds. Oh! Sato just is too greedy. Like, at this point, you're Ball. Like, you're not really, like, Winston, where, like, mispositioning, like, you know, having to drop off high ground is really detrimental because it stops you from staging. Ball doesn't really need to like stage as much as Winston, so Sato should just take like the L and just like, you know, get out of there. But in this case, now they lose Sato. That makes it easier. Now what do they do? Rain just has to clear like anyone on the flank. So I mean clear a Tracer, maybe help Pelican. That's what happens. You don't have Brig. Help Pelican win this Tracer duel. And Hawk should like try to help Pelican win this Tracer duel, I think. It wouldn't be a duel if it was like Hawk though. So Hawk's trying to clear the angle, good. But Hawk probably does spend a bit too much time. Like Ball will come back pretty quickly, so you have a short window. But more importantly, like, you poked out Tracer. You only need to poke out Tracer. You don't need to kill Tracer. Like, he's cut off from Laster already. Like, to an extent. Now, just help your Winston close the distance. Especially as he is discorded. Like, let's see how Gator is faring. So Gator pops the bubble there early. Why does Gator have to pop bubble early? Now I see. This peak though, like Hawk's just so busy for like, this is like mistimed peak. Like Gator just goes in when Hawk's not ready to peel. This takes so much poke. And like Hawk's so busy trying to clear out ball. So he's playing like resource heavy when his backline is not able, and that means that he has to drop the bubble early. That's like really bad. And look. Now, like, gets Pulse Bomb, gets a Nano, can close the distance, mace to the face, and... Oh... And, like, yeah... So Pelican should have, like, what Pelican should have done, I think, is... I think, like, Pelican should have tried to, like, you know, go behind before going in. Like, where's the pincer? I'll say this again, but where's the pincer? There's no pincer, so, like, Gator just walks in, W's in, and look, they have angles. But does Gator, like, do the micro of this right? Like, who's clearing, like, nice? Like, if anything, like, maybe, like, Pelican should have, like, tried to clear it out nice first, but, like, in this case, like, there's no pincer, they're not clearing out the Tracer, and Zen still is alive, so Zen can just discord. And Hisu helps. Throws the dynamite. Yeah, that's cheeky. So yeah, like, that fight was just a fuck up. Like, they could have... The range should have won, like, from there, but they don't. They just, like, have... Gator's bubble gets forced early, and then, like... Saddle gets to come back, and more importantly, like, once they close the distance... They already, like, have Saddle back. What was Saddle doing during that Nano? Oh, now I see why. Like, if there's anything that could maybe win this, it was maybe Kai getting a good sightline on this, but Saddle's back, so that isn't happening. So Saddle, instead of peeling for this, like, he tries to just, like, he knows that, like, the backline's gonna be okay, like, there's no pincer, so Saddle just, like, says, hey, we're just gonna, like, take away your other win condition, which is poking off of Winston engage. Like, every hero's gonna follow up on a dive. Like, it's not just... Even in these hybrid comps, every hero follows up on a dive. It's just that some heroes follow up by playing better, like, more aggressive sightlines. Some heroes follow up by going in. So, like, right here, like, Defiant and Rain, like, are mirroring-ish. Like, now they have the Diva. Defiant of the Zarya, which means that, but, like, Michelle's low energy now. So Rain, like, they're gonna have, like, the more aggressive comp. Diva's gonna try to pressure angles and stuff, help Gator and Pelican to take map control, and then, like, they're gonna look for aggressive, well, they have the Ana, which is, they're gonna look for, like, aggressive dives where, like, they can have Iris get fat nades. But meanwhile, Defiant are just gonna, like, poke, mainly. Wait for Michelle to get high energy before closing distance, and maybe ultimate. But look at the ultimate situation. Defiant should win this. And yeah, like, so firstly, like, I don't see, like, how, like, Rain can actually win this. They're just so outmatched and all. So now let's slow it down, actually. So, like, now they're clearing the angle, force the Tracer out, and now, like, they can, if they force the Tracer out, like, there's not a lot of poke being done to this Tracer, honestly, but if they force the Tracer out, they can try to, like, like Pelican can go in and try to like get a pincer dive on like the back line here. But the back line now is like saying, hey, you can go in, but we have tempo ultimates. We just go in before you're able to do that. And yeah, good trying to like use ultimates offensively as Toronto. So good like ultimate usage, but like the thing that can clutch this fight if Toronto uses like ults too slow, in which case like Hawk can help like Pelican take the flank and then allow them to like stage a dive onto Zen or Brig. Like even if they do, like Trans is there and they can just grab like Ball and Tracer. So yeah, like it just an easy clap for Toronto. So now they're on Sanctuary, I think. So now both teams are running like similar comps. Now they're running the Sigma, and the Sigma is like stronger because longer sight lines, and Sigma benefits from it. But but the thing is just that like Rain is running the Widow, and like Defiance running the Ashe, and what's that gonna mean is that like Defiant do want to be like playing a bit more like aggressively with regards to their divers, to like close the distance so that Hisu outvalues Kai. If Kai is allowed to like peek for free, then like yeah, that's gonna be a loss. Like Ashe is just less diveable. That's the thing. So right here, generally like both sides don't take like the dojo area like initially, because what if there's like a brawl comp here and boom 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 easy. So like they try to like fight for the right side mainly. And you can see like both sides is core. It's hard to see ish like dive, but both sides core are like setting up here, and the balls are gonna like try to contest these flanks. And so Defiance, you can see it's skirmish like here, and whoever wins the skirmish, if like Gator wins this, then like Sato has to go back for like get a health pack or go back for Brig or Zen heals. But if Sato wins this, then boom. Now, I am a bit concerned that like Nice isn't in position to like follow up. Well, maybe he is. Like he can just go from the middle. Like he could like try to duel here, but and in which case he can like go all the way this way and try to stage there. But yeah, so like let's see who wins the ball duel. Nice actually. So now they actually kind of flip who does the duels, and like Gator is forced out, but also is Sato, but like Nice is in a better position than Pelican right now. So
The objective is
now I think Nice is there's a 1v0. Now Nice is gonna go in for Kai and almost kills Kai. Like now, like Kai uses grapple, I think, to get here. That was so close, but now like, but obviously like Pelican doesn't want like Nice to like take this flank for free again. So like he has to contest, and he wants to get like ideally Harmony from, and he actually kills Nice. So Nice by doing this, like the risk is that you get cut off from like your Zen, and the core battle also matters as well. If the core like take space, then like they can directly support this, but if they don't, they lose the space. Then like Lastro's cut off from like Neist, and it looks like so Gator actually like tries to help the core battle and kills Hisu in the process. And because there is like Gator there, like Lastro can push up to help like Neist. So like, what is Sato doing though? Sato just needs to take this long rotation. I think it just might be a mistake. I think he should have like tried to like get a bit of healing from not from Ansunjay, but and then like try to like contest Gator for the control of this like area. But Sato is removed from the fight and Gator like exploits it, and this will give Atlanta the cap. Aside from like Neist like possibly going a bit too deep to like secure the kill on Kai. He just really needs to force out like Kai, and Hisu will start getting more value for like a short time. So now they're gonna hold their core like there, like around here. This is the and then like this is basically gonna be like where like yeah everyone's gonna hold like some teams like they do prefer to hold dojo, but one of the reasons is firstly like the sight lines, like if they push here at least your Widow can peek. If they push there, not so much. But but like another reason is it's just that like you better hope they don't switch to Brawl as well to an extent, but also I mean like the dojo is actually a strong position for the core to position into, because like you have like control of the point, which matters, and then you can have, and if they try to like push up here, try to take control here, then it's just basically gonna be like equal, like, and then it's gonna be based on who wins the ball tracer duel. But in that case, like if like the core is here, then and like Rain is set up in the dojo area, then instead of like maybe the opposite or like them being here, then I think that like the Widow isn't gonna be as effective, like the shorter sight lines. Well, if the Widow will have to like get support from like the dojo, and like this would require Widow to like take this unnecessary rotation. So Widow would have to position here, which, and from these sightlines, this is more preferred for Ashe. So I had to think over it a bit, but I think that's the reason why. I could be overanalyzing it though. It could just be, oh, right side good, right side looks cool. Like these ball tracers and mirrors are interesting though. Like small things can turn, like small map control things can like turn this around. So anyways, now like let's slow this again. So like Sato actually dies on the flank. Now Gator does run it down like main, so to speak, which I don't really like. It's just gonna make it so easy for them to poke Gator out, but doesn't matter. Sato feeds a bit. And like Gator eventually smartens up and tries to take that flank, but Pelican takes it. But where's Neist? Like I think Neist should be trying to like, just like contest like Pelican, and yeah, I think he is. But he might have broken free some time during the fight, so he's not putting poke pressure on Pelican. Well, now he is, but. he focuses Gator, understandable, but like Pelican's a bigger threat because your ball is low and Tracers can more quickly exploit it. I mean Gator is coming, but I think like forcing out Pelican would be more high value. Now Kai tries to like go one clip Kai, but that's gonna be tough. Sato dies, but Gator lives, and I think that's just gonna give the advantage, even though Massa does die. So what happens if Massa dies? Oh, but like in the process, like nice. So Pelican, what does Pelican do? This might be Pelican's fault. Like losing break means that like you're not only can't your like Gator and Pelican can't take splits anymore as much, but more importantly like the core is gonna start winning like the core tug of war, and then they're gonna get more space and their backline's gonna start to outvalue your backline more. So like it's kind of a snowball. So let's say Michelle like is able to push up here because let's say like Massa dies, no healing for Hawk. Like Zen's gonna try to harmony Discord and harmony like these people, but like you need like break for like residual heals. So like let's say Michelle gets to push up, and guess what happens? Lastro gets more value now because Lastro has sightlines like deep into the enemy backline, which means that Nice and Sato can like not only take deep angle like deep dives, but also like Lastro can now discord any target easily that like Nice and Sato are diving. So losing Massa like the longer here's the thing, Rain had to finish the fight now or the core is just gonna start pushing up. But yeah, like what is Pelican doing? Pelican should have tried to match his counterpart. So like I'm not sure why it's just poking at range. And by the time like Nice gets the pulse bomb, well yeah, Pelican. I think Pelican misplayed this, which gives Toronto the cap. And so Nice like, or is it NA first? I'm not sure. Like I might be mispronouncing it all, but like yeah, I'm not gonna admit NA first, so I'm not willing to admit NA first, anyways. So I'm just gonna kind of Nice like screw it. So Nice gets killed by Kai. This was probably just like unlucky. Like look at this. How does that even happen? Oh, good headshot. I can't. There's not even a macro reason. So like now, I think my theory like that came up was right. So Defiant do want to be positioning in Dojo, and just because they have Ashe, and Ashe benefits more from being here instead of like being able to like position here. So like now Toronto are like in Dojo, while like Rain want to take this area. So yeah. My theory does hold water now. And now, like without the Tracer, now what I want Rain to do is like they shouldn't like intent. Instead, they should have Pelican like stage deep into Defiant's backline, or they could poke out Sato. That's fine. Like you need to poke out Sato, so he's poking out Sato. Good. He's taking map control. And like even though like Nice does come NA first, Nice I don't care. Does like come back. And does like come back, like damages are being done, like the Rain now have a map control advantage. So and they get the flip off of that. So now like Massa pops the rally, which will give them which will increase their map control advantage. I wonder why some people are still respawning. I may have missed some deaths. So Hawk dies somehow. I actually think like they're positioning way too aggressive here. Because, well, like Hawk was overextended, yeah. Like, here's the thing: if you don't clear out Dojo, like, points off limits until like you either clear out Dojo or you hug this really small section which isn't covered by Dojo. But even then, Hisu's peeking. So until you clear Dojo, you don't push on the point. Like, play here even, but don't push on the point. Kai kills Ansun J, but Hisu, nobody's clearing Hisu. Like, now I think that they took the right side. They should look to break. Well, like someone should be like at least like accounting for Hisu, but Hisu just goes on a flank and they're just pressing W without taking control of like the flanks. Like, this is so sloppy. So they firstly died, but like someone needs to be dealing with like Hisu. Like, I know they're busy with this like, you know, fight on the flank, but they have rally armor. Like, you could maybe even put like, and Gator's like half HP. Like, you already have like big map control advantage. Well, like, well, oh shit! I thought I was brain. I mean, like, Gator is half HP, which makes it hard for like, you know, Gator to just Pelican to just break free and say, "Hey, Gator, here's your ball tracing you have to deal with." But someone needs to be dealing with Hisu. Or if anything, they should be playing away from Hisu, playing like putting them here. But like, since, and also like Kai needs to be not playing here. Don't take the duel. It's short sight lines, you're gonna lose. Like, Kai should be rotating like towards where Brig can see him. So this was just a mismanaged fight. Like, and now like Toronto are just gonna like use the Bob to put massive point pressure. It will force them to abandon like map control. So all like the space they've taken here is gonna be for naught. Once Nice and Sato, they go here, and then guess what? Easy backline. So like, Rain didn't clear Dojo, and Nor played away from Dojo, and like they just played into their map control. And Michelle pushes on the point. Hawk does kill Sato though. How does Sato die? Sato has died a lot. Oh, stolen health pack. Like, Sato tends to go for health packs, but sometimes they're not available and they just chase him. So yeah, mistake by Sato to like rely on health packs so much, but now like what they can do is honestly like Gator just goes in, like contest like nice on the flank and then go in. But Hawk and Iris die. How? Who's marking the tracer? Who's marking the tracer? Pelican, are you marking the tracer? It's just a case of just pressing W without clearing map control first. Like Atlanta, they're terrible at like they're terrible at map control. They go for the pulse bomb, but Pelican's trying to like duel like a Brig with rally armor. Like who's pressuring? Like both Brigs are rallying. Like maybe Nice will survive, but maybe Defiant do have to use a lot of ultimates to win. But like Atlanta, they first it's with Hisu. Now they don't clear angles from they don't kill tracers. And Ansunjay just kills Hawk. How? How? Atlanta. Oh, so like, I mean, to be fair to Rain, they did pop a lot. Toronto did pop a lot of ultimates, but it's no excuse to be this sloppy with map control. Okay, how does Pelican die again? Oh, it's a spawn camp attempt. But good peeling play. Good peel. Allows Hisu to one-shot. Even though, like, head damage, a non-damage boosted headshot should already do 150, but still good. It draws attention away from Hisu, so. But by like spawn camping now, like Defiant can just go for an aggressive engage, or like one option is to do an aggressive engage. But honestly, I would just prefer like maybe Defiant to like just play defensively, use their tracer to like deny Gator from like taking control. So let's see, is playing like the peeling play or the aggressive play? It looks like he's going for a pulse bomb. Not my favorite idea. Now he's trying to deny Gator a bit. Well, like that pulse bomb looked juicy. I'm not gonna lie. I was just saying that I prefer I honestly prefer defensive tracer, more defensive tracer play over like flashy tracer play. So now he's trying to. Pelican comes back though. He tries to mark his counterpart on the flank. But Pelican is discorded, so. But Michelle, like instead, like Iris tries to like discord Michelle. Honestly, not my favorite plan because like first, your Zen is like you trans, like that's already a lot of poke you lose. Like just by transing, like you lose the ability to exploit this like discord to an extent. You only have Kai, who is like who is kind of temper, who has like Lastro, the threat of Lastro poking, so he doesn't want to peek that aggressively, and like Sato's going in. But like more importantly, this map control, like this flank could like just decide the fight, because like if Pelican wins this, then Hisu has to like back out to Brig, and this will give like Kai the advantage. Kai could peek here, but like, and also like, but if Nice wins, then like Sato goes in, pincers your backline from here, maybe GG's. So like Rain, like they're discording like what's in front of them, but they're not discording what's most important for map control. Maybe it's a case of Iris can't even discord. Could Iris discord? Nice. I'm aware I'm way mispronouncing this, but I don't care. NA isn't first. It's actually EU that is first. Like, don't you see like the crazy comps of Ex Oblivione plays? How could you not fall in love with EU contenders after that? Like maybe it was a case that like he couldn't like even discord. Well, if he was here. Like, but he doesn't even try to discord. I mean, it was kind of hard to get an angle, but I'm just gonna put it this way: like the fact that Laster was able to discord Pelican is big. It allows like Nice to like take map control, like take the control of this flank, and then go for a slam. Now Now though, like Rain do now pop their smorgasbord of ultimates. I don't know how to pronounce them. Not Swedish as well. And like yeah, they just the core just roll over. And the trance is enough to keep them alive when Shadow slams, so... Now... They both switch to Ashe, but it appears that like Rain have a preference regardless of Ashe or Widow to hold here. I honestly prefer here better. It's just better sightline, not only better sightlines, but it's safer against like dive. Like here, like dive can get like more like you know, ball the dive squad of like Toronto can get more value just because like it's possible to just roll, and then like here it's just more of like it's just more of a fact that like well, I forgot. I mean, like it's just like it's just easier to like poke out divers as they're trying to go out of here. I mean, they could go like they try like grapple here, but it's gonna be hard to get up to here. But like I think it's just a fact that like if you want to go here, then like it's easy for like it's harder for like, you know, Rain to poke out the diver. So it's harder for like Rain to poke out Shadow Nice like from here because they can just like go here, whoop, roll here, but like right here, like the sight lines are longer, so like Zen can like, you know, Zen can poke out this angle really like more easily. And if they try to like go here, not only can they maybe send a Tracer in a longer way, so like maybe they could like circle here, but still it's still possible to kite back here and still have good cover. If you have to kite back here, then like you can get bursted down more easily, but it's just that yeah, this is a lot less diveable than like right here, so it's better to like defensively. I'm talking like Dojo versus like whatever this is, Cage, I think. So now like Defiant to take the Dojo, and now like they're gonna like poke. It's gonna be a poke battle, and whoever wins is gonna be decided by who wins the flank. So let's actually slow this down. It's gonna be really interesting. Pulse bomb? Should Hawk gets pulsed. Good pulse bomb. Now like so yeah, good pulse bomb. Now Hawk is dead. Now they can look to like the core can look to push up and like apply discords on like, you know, on Gator, and then like now, and even though Shadow is like lower HP, Shadow tends to be lower HP than Gator. Like they can just they now have the position to poke out Gator as he's trying to like go in. So that's what I'm expecting. And Gator goes in, but like Lastro transes, and yeah, and Pelican. What does Pelican do? If anything, is this Pelican shouldn't feed. Like maybe they don't poke out Gator and Pelican, and you do get to kill, but maybe on Hisu who is out, who might be outside LOS and like the Discord, but he just tries a pulse bomb and dies for it. That's why, like, GG's. And now, like, they just slam to finish. So yeah, like, and yeah, this is just a stagger fight. Yeah, they're not gonna win this. But as you can see, like ball tracer mirror is actually really interesting to review, and the reason is not only because like core positioning, like some teams prefer like certain core positioning over others. Like on this, some teams prefer dojo, some teams prefer cage, but like the other thing is like it's just not like the ball tracer duel on the flank like decides to fight, because like if you're to any viewer who's like new to like ball tracer mirrors, like the thing is that like how ball tracer mirrors prevent peel for themselves is actually by being aggressive. And what I mean by that is like, let's say this is core of like team 1 and this is core of team 2. Now let's say team 1 like has ball here, tracer here, and let's say both ball and tracer win the fight against them, ball and like enemy ball and tracer. Like they don't have to kill the ball and tracer, they just have to win the fight and force them back to their team. Well, guess what? Now like ball and tracer have the positioning to like actually go in the back line, and then like the core will push up, again will go more aggressive, and then like, you know, ball and tracer go in, boom, dead. But like the team that like, you know, has to like, you know, go back is gonna lose, because like what is a ball and tracer gonna do when like you're not Brig or Kree, like you don't have CC? Like what is a ball or tracer gonna do against like a pile drive plus like, you know, blink in, kill? So like it's a myth like now in modern Overwatch, like peeling isn't like peeling is less about stacking like together. Like stacking a 6 doesn't work against dive anymore, because like the dive's just gonna like the dive is just going to stage around you, and then like they just go in from all angles, and then like your peel abilities only work against like one of them, but how about the other 5? But yeah, like you don't just prevent dive from stacking a 6. You like peel for dives by like taking map control. Like you can either take like map control like indirectly by like, you know, by being in like the vicinity of like being on the flank, or like you can take map control like directly and try like hold an angle, like maybe even have like long range DPS split apart. It's okay, like even against dive occasionally, because like if they want to dive you, then great, you can use the escape ability. Like Grease role has been buffed. Coach Gun, for example, is another ability. Grapple even, but I wouldn't want Widow to be. Widow doesn't provide much in like sustained poke, but more burst poke. But you just have them take angles, and then like when they try to like stage and take flanks, you just try to poke them out. And why can't you do that in main? Because like there might be like some cover here. There might be like, you know, natural cover that prevents you from doing this. So sometimes you have to take angles. And finally, like by taking these angles, you prevent them from just like W keying in to you, and you can punish that. But because like then you can just fire at them from like the sides. Multiple angles are good. But yeah, so like that's basically gonna be like the matchup between ball and tracer, like between 2 ball tracer teams. But yeah, like this has been a pretty fun VOD to review. Like I know Atlanta won the first 2, but we don't talk about that. I don't like reviewing brawl mirrors. Then the first 2 were brawl mirrors as far as I know. But anyways, I hope this was useful. Peace.